Open. Talk about your overall impression of the weekend for your team.
Yeah, I thought it was a great weekend, a great tune-up for us before heading to conference. Obviously, the highlights being Whitney and Logan. But aside from that, I thought we had a lot of great individual performances that, whether they were PRs or improvements upon their season bests, or even just moving up on the conference list, I thought bodes well for this weekend.
Whitney Hansen, Logan Kruger, they have provisionally punched their ticket to the NCAA tournament. How proud of you of them are
Yeah,
we?
super proud of them. Logan got the night started on Friday. By just being, I think he was about 4 centimeters off the all-time school record to hit that NCAA provisional mark. I was actually on the other end of the track getting the distance runners ready, but we saw him throw one and it looked pretty good. And I actually saw him a little upset, which confused us at first. But then we later found out that when they read the mark off, he realized he missed the all-time school record by just a little bit. But super proud of him. He's made so much progress in 3 years. He's a hard worker. He's very diligent, dedicated, and so to see him, hit that NCAA Provo mark, all kudos to him. Whitney, we have been talking about this probably since she arrived on campus as a freshman. She's probably one of the most talented distance runners that, we've had, this program has had in the last 10 years or so. And, her freshman year, she certainly turned some heads and set a lot of school records and things like that. So we knew, the talent was there. It was all about just bringing her up to speed at the collegiate level. And, she ran a perfect race, very well tactically, sat behind, two ladies in the 800-meter race, and made a move at the right point and closed really well to hit that NCAA Provo time. And we saw it was 2:15, and we weren't sure, depending on the decimal points or the milliseconds of whether she was gonna get it. And once we got the final time, we were ecstatic for her. It's certainly the breakthrough that I know we knew was there, and that I know that she was working so hard for, like I said, since she arrived on campus, last year.
What was the excitement level like when you saw that she got that decimal point?
Oh, it was awesome. I gave her a big hug and I said congratulations. And all of our assistants were right near the finish line, and they confirmed what she had run. So again, I think for her it was finally, she had been knocking on the door to just kind of bust through. It was a point of validation that everything we've been doing, that all the hard work she's been putting in, it was worth it. And same for Logan too. When anytime you hit one of those marks, they're not easy. And we were talking to a few of the team members, and we said, hey, there's a reason that being an NCAA provisional qualifier, whether you actually get to go to the national championships or not, but that's still a big deal, and they're not just handed out. So really proud of both of them, and we'll wait 2 weeks from now to see if they get in. Certainly I'll be sitting on the edge of my seat come next Tuesday morning.
Talk about the efforts from Brianna Johns Alster and Nathan Trujillo Aragon as well. They set school records in their events this weekend.
Yeah, Brianna had a great 2 days of competition. I think those throwers were primed and ready to throw far. Coach Gus really, knew, same to the other two, that knew that the marks were right there, that they had the ability to do them. It was only a matter of time. So for Brianna to come out Friday night, throw a big PR on the weight throw, break the school record. This is her first season of collegiate competition. She redshirted last year as a freshman. And so then to follow it up the next day with the shot put school record, again, I think it validated everything we knew. But, once they actually do it, I think they kind of say, hey, you were right all along, and, I need to trust you a little bit more. And for her, again, to do that as a freshman, first year of competing was great. Nate ran a great race. His prelim, we weren't sure if he was going to get in, and then once we found out that he had finally gotten into the final for the hurdles, again, he ran a perfect race. I don't think he hit a single hurdle, and he was wide away of the field by the last hurdle heading into the finish line. And we looked over, and we weren't sure of the time. Obviously, we had to wait to see what it was, but we knew he had run a really, really good race. And so to see the time come along with a collegiate win, big for him. He's a freshman, and he's experienced quite a bit of success this year. So So I think it's just, added to his confidence every time he steps in the starting blocks to be able to go out and say, hey, I can win this no matter who's to the left of him or who's to the right of him. And, he knows he's one of the best guys in the field.
Another one that didn't cross a program record, but had another great day and is third in D2 air was Joseph Green. Talk about him and his postseason potential. He's up there, 18th right now in the standings?
Joe ran a great race. We knew he had to run a little bit faster. He was sitting in the top 20s, I think, heading into the weekend. So he improved quite a bit. I think at one point he was in that top 16 mark, but then once other results started coming around from other teams and other meets around the conference, that he got bumped to 18th. But he ran a great race. Certainly put himself in position to make the conference meet, and that's all we can ask for because we can't control what is going on, across, meets in South Dakota, meets in Minnesota, things like that. So, we'll wait and see to see if he gets in on Tuesday. But certainly very proud of him. And he ran a fantastic anchor on our 4x4 to end the meet. We knew we had to run about 3 seconds faster to jump about 2 spots in the men's 4x4. And, he ran, he always leaves it to late, but it always leaves himself enough room to come away with the win. So he's done that twice down there, gets us a little nervous. But when he crossed the line, our entire team was just going bonkers that we had just won the race, knew that we had gotten the 3 seconds that we needed, and put ourselves in position to finish really high at the conference championships.
Another member of the men's team that's pushing for the NSIC championship appearance is Lewis Cotterell. He's currently 8th in the 800 meters. What do you think will be key to him to not only get there but also have success there?
Yeah, Lewis. So we set the race up for Lewis to move up on the conference list. He was 11th going into the weekend, and the way the heats are structured, we knew he had to run a little bit faster to get into that top section at the conference championships, and we let him know that. We knew what times he had to run and had to hit, and he was paced by one of his teammates, Vince Goreca, and Vince did a fantastic job of setting the pace early. Lewis just followed, and then obviously Lewis took over probably about 500 meters in to come away with the win. And we weren't necessarily concerned about the win. We were more concerned about the time in his case to make sure he got into that top heat this weekend, but has set himself up really well. He's dropped about 6-7 seconds since we began the season in the 800 meters, and it was a little bit of a rough seas when he arrived here, but he's coming along quite nicely, and I'm excited to see what he can do. He's a very tactical, savvy racer, so I think when he's put in that position on Saturday, I have no doubt that he will give himself the best chance to finish higher than he came seated.
Another good effort in the women's side for Ashley Miller. She finished 3rd in the 60, but also Linda Perez 2nd in the mile. Went behind those two success this last weekend.
Linda's just been super consistent throughout the year in her races. She's a tough racer. Again, she's a freshman, but she's learned a little bit every race. But she ran a very good race, put herself in position to run a PR. So I was proud of her, and again, she set herself up to hopefully finish in that top 8 at the conference championship. She's ranked 9th going in, but I have no doubt that she will give herself every opportunity, and obviously as a freshman to continue to finish high, race after race, to have that consistency, that you're always happy to see that as a coach. Ashley, yeah, she did a phenomenal job in the 60. She's more of a 200-meter, 400-meter person, but she did a great job stepping up in that event, running a season's best. And, we're priming her for some relays this weekend. So, again, she's done a phenomenal job. It's her first year here, even though she is a transfer from junior college, but she's done a great job with Coach Adams and, adjusting to his training and getting ready to step up into another level of competition from the junior college level up to the Division II level.
Tristan Mencius Finnerty is 7th in the conference in the 1,000 meters. What do you expect from him? Should he? I mean, to be honest, I don't know who's going to go from this top 8 or from this top position. But when he gets to the NSIC championship, what will be his goal?
Tristan's going to do, right now he's going to do 3 events. He's going to do 2 individual events and a relay. Our goal is to have him score in every event that he's entered. So Yeah, it's the same thing. Anyone that's going to the conference championships, I mean, it's a different year. The fields are a lot smaller. Maybe that's good and bad at the same time because if you're there, you have a greater chance of scoring. But for Treston, he came here. He's only here for a year, so he's going to try to make as big of an impact as he can at his only indoor conference championships. And I think he's ready. He paced Jacob Jensen to a phenomenal race on Saturday, and he came back about 20 minutes later and ran a really good 1,000 meter race. So I think he tuned himself up to the point where I think we feel really confident in his abilities this coming weekend. And he's a savvy racer. He has that collegiate experience. He's been in another conference which is really competitive. So I'm excited to see what he can do. Kind of see himself mix it up with some of the best guys in our conference, and hopefully comes away with some really high finishes. But I have full confidence in Treston and his abilities this coming weekend.
And finally, I know you've been building all season for the NSIC Championships and the postseason, but what will you do this week to fine-tune to get the team ready for this weekend?
Honestly, we won't do too much at this point. I think anything you do is just kind of resting, getting ready for Saturday, mentally, physically. We won't do a whole lot. We just want to make sure we just do just enough, I guess, is the best way to put it, to be ready for Saturday. Overdoing, I think, is just detrimental. We're not going to increase mileage or start lifting heavy or anything like that. The work has been done. I feel really good about the group we're sending. It's not our largest group that we've sent by any means, but at the same time, I think it's a really quality group. The way the season ended and the way the conference qualifying was, it was different this year. I think had it been a normal year, we'd probably be sending about double the amount of people that would go in a normal year. So, we're heading down there with a smaller crew, but I think we're heading down there with a crew that, I said to them on Saturday, can do some pretty special things that have never been done before, in my 3 years or even prior. And, our goal is to walk away with, more medals than we have, more points than we have, in the last 3 years. I think that would be a good indicator that we're heading in the right direction. And then, fingers crossed, hopefully we walk away with a few people that come away with wins. Everyone that steps on the starting line, no matter what you've done during the regular season, everyone seeded 0 at that point. So it really comes down to competing on the day, and hopefully some things fall your way and some things don't fall someone else's way. And, that's all we can ask for, is to put ourselves in a position to, execute and come away with a, successful race or successful, throw or jump.